Hi everyone, welcome to the Rookie Shack, and today we'll be looking at Venusaur. This week we're looking at the Pokemon Venusaur, who is undisputed, we all know, as the best starter almost of all time. Whether that's Venusaur or his alternative, the Mega Venusaur, one of the few Megas I actually personally like the design of. We'll be looking at how to best utilize him, whether it's from a casual or a competitive standpoint, but both in singles and doubles. Now, the format for this is we look at a couple of teams that people recommend online, see what they're about, try and learn how to best utilize the teams, and basically fight some randoms and try and figure out as we go along. So without further ado, let's get started. Right, so for this team it was recommended start with the Mega Venusaur. This was the most recommended way of utilizing Venusaur, therefore we needed that Venusaur right so it can Mega evolve into that. Now the ability it comes with when it becomes Mega Venusaur's Thick Fat, which is handy for reducing fire and ice type moves, which is essential because that is basically what it's weak against. And moving on from there, the moveset it was given was Giga Drain, which is good for that life point recovery. Leech Seed, which is effective, keeps reducing life points of the opponent. Sludge Bomb, 30% chance of that poison, and Synthesis just gives you that boost of health again, which is great for making it as bulky as possible. For IVs, it was a 0 attack full set with EVs 252 at HP, 240 at defense, and 16 speed, with a bold nature to just bolster that defense even further. From there we move on to Heatran, was the second recommended. The item it was given was Leftovers. This just allows a little bit of HP recovery each time, making it that little bit bulkier in a moveset. Flash Fire allows 1.5 times damage and complete fire immunity, which is excellent, especially with a lot of people using certain types of fire and dragon types. First move is Lava Plume with 30% chance of burn, which is always handy to get off. Hurts the opponents on switching for that stealth rock. The Roar allows your opponent just to randomly swap to the next Pokemon, which is great if they bring out something you don't like. And lastly, that Protect, in case you're thinking there's a dangerous move coming along. For its stats, IVs, again, 0 attack, especially defensive, again making it as bulky as possible, with 248 HP, 8 defense, and 252 for special defense. The Calm nature, again, increases that special defense from opponents. After that we've got Bisharp. It just allows a bit more of a heavy attacker onto the field, with item it sells Black Glasses, which bolsters its dark type attacks. Its ability is Defiant, which raises its attack stat when I think it's lowered by a foe, which is very handy, especially in competitive playing. First of the moveset is Knock Off, 1.5 damage if foes hold onto an item and gets rid of that item. Sucker Punch, which is useful, always goes first if you want to get off first. And Iron Head, 30% chance of flinch, plus it's good against that pesky dragon type. And Swords Dance, which again bolsters that attack. For IVs, we've got full set. EVs, we've got increase in HP, major increase in attack at 252, and in speed to hopefully allow a quicker movement. Again, with admin, it increases the attack and reduces the special attack to make it more of a physical sweeper than a special sweeper. After that, we've got Starmie. I love using Starmie in a lot of sets. It holds the life orb, which allows it to bolster its attack damage. Unfortunately, obviously, it loses its health, so it's one of those. It's just quick use in a set. Its ability is analytics, so if it goes last, its power is further increased. Going on to the moveset from there, we start with Hydro Pump. It's just a very good heavy beater to have, followed by Ice Beam, which is great for those, again, pesky dragon types. Side Shock, damage based on defense, not special defense, which is useful. And Rapid Spin just moves away all those hazards that a lot of people, including myself, like to use. Here we've got IVs, again, a 0 attack spread, and EVs 4 on HP, 252 on special attack, and 252 on speed, with a timid nature, which further increases that speed, allowing Starmie to hopefully outspeed most of its opponents. Then we have Landorus-Therian, begin with that Choice Scarf. Holder increases its speed by 1.5. Fortunately, you're limited to then only one move that it can use the whole time it is out. That Intimidate ability is just essential, especially if a big beater comes onto the field. It's just useful, especially if you regularly switch in and out. Earthquake, just a good heavy beater of a move. Then onto Rock Slide to get that flinch if used. After that, you've got the U-turn. That's great for just constantly bringing Landorus in and out to keep utilising that Intimidate. And then Hidden Power Ice, again for those pesky dragon types. Full IV spread, and EVs 140 on HP, 156 on attack, and 212 on speed. Bit like Starmie, just a quick beater, hopefully to outspeed all opponents' monsters. Lastly, we've got Concealdurr with that Assault Vest, which increases its special defense, which is very handy, makes it a bit more bulkier. Guts, if it's statist, its attack is increased, and it ignores the reduction in physical damage when it is burnt, which is very useful. Drain Punch recovers a bit of that HP back onto the Pokemon. Then next move is Mach Punch, which just allows you to quickly get off an attack automatically first. Knock off 1.5 damage if foe holds an item, removes item, always useful. And lastly, Ice Punch again for those pesky dragon types. Full IV spread with EVs in 252 for HP, 8 for defense, 248 for special defense, make it as bulky as possible, and then a surplus in attack as it is a physical beater. And that's the first team we're going to utilise this week. So let's see how we get on with it. Right, so the first opponent we have has an Absol, Ninetales, Alolan Ninetales, Lucario, and 2 of the legendary dogs. Names always escape me. So for this, I began with the Heatran. Wanted to very much get that Stealth Rock off. That just allows us to. Unfortunately, it failed. Didn't realize Mega Absol had Magic Bounce. They then got the Pursuit. I hit back with the Lava Plume, which thankfully got the burn. From there, tried to get that Roar, which is useful, just hopefully bring out something I preferred, which unfortunately didn't work. It would slightly work in my favour getting that Landorus out, as I was certain that I could now outspeed it. Hit it with the Earthquake just to get rid of it, and that's us now 1 up. Bring out the Suicune. It's not the best, being water type, so now we bring out the main man. There's the Venusaur, gets hit with the skull but resists it like a champ, so we instantly get that Mega Evolve out, try and get a Giga Drain, which is grass type, which is super effective and regain some health. Fortunately they see this and bring out the Ninetales, so now we bring out our Water Starmie. Will-O-Wisp unfortunately gets the burn, it will only get worse over time, so we hit it with the Hydro Pump, and again the opponent sees it, brings out their Thunder type, still does a hefty amount of damage, still taking damage from that burn though, and then the idea is to Rapid Spin to get rid of that Stealth Rock. Now this was a little bit risky as that Thunderbolt came down, and now we are at an even standpoint. So now we bring out again Mega Venusaur, see if we can try and steal some health off of it. Unfortunately it gets the paralysis on us, sorry, and trades back in to Ninetales, which is a little bit of a pain for myself. So we bring back out the Landorus, with it being ground type should hopefully be super effective, and also gets off that Intimidate, which is excellent. So the Nesquik hopefully outspeeds it, brings in Suicune, should still do a hefty amount of damage, not as much as I would have liked, but it will still have to do. Can still outspeed it, so with this decide to move back into the Venusaur again just to take that. The water hit does quite a bit of damage, trying again to get off a Giga Drain. Fortunately, who is this? Aerovale, or however you pronounce that, has seen my tactic and has a similar one of just consistently trading in for the strengths of the Pokemon in front of it. So I decided to take a little bit of a different route, try and break that routine, bring in the Concealdurr and get that Drain Punch off just to try and regain some health, which just takes that Ninetales out in one shot, which is so helpful. It allows me to further utilize that Venusaur with not so much risk anymore. Now for this, try and get off that Mach Punch just to make sure we could go first. Concealdurr's not the fastest, so it is quite a good move if you just want to quickly take out an opponent, especially if it's a quick moving opponent. Now Drain Punch here just completely takes out Suicune, the first of the legendary dogs, and now we're back in the green again in health, which is useful, especially with that burn on it at the moment, and we're 3 for 1. So for here, Mach Punch just quickly takes out that Raikou before it can be utilised in any sort of way. And now it's just a case of fighting the Ice type Ninetales. So by getting it, thankfully we survived that, get that Drain Punch off, recover quite a bit of health, takes out quite a bit of that Ninetales. Mach Punch just finishes it off. Mach Punch is like a more useful version of Quick Attack, so you can always go first. Now he brings out his fighting type, Lucario. So a Mach Punch just to make sure I can outspeed it, which doesn't unfortunately, but it still takes it out in 1. And for that match, that was excellent. 1 down. Right, so here we have Gallade Male, Drifbloom, Centipede thing, big shell thing with ground. I can't remember these names to save the life of me. Scolipede thing and the Ultra Moon. Now with the Drifbloom we get that Lava Plume off, doesn't do as much damage as I thought it might have done. So we get that Roar, we've got the burn, so if we get the Roar off, because we now have the Stealth Rock, is it just allows us to utilise that stealth rock more and more as it swaps in until we finally get something that we would like to hit. And that lava plume super damage, that skull piece taken out. We're already 1 for 0 with that burn on the Drifblim as well, very handy. Now the Necrozma Dawn Wing comes out. Now this one will be quite tricky to handle. So we go for that lava plume, see how much damage we get on it. Unfortunately it takes out the Heatran. It isn't so great because he's one of our bulkier Pokemon. Try and get that Ice Punch as it is one of those pesky dragon types. Unfortunately it hits us with that Z power, completely takes out the Concealdurr in one hit. It's not looking too good so far. We don't have much else that is super effective against the dragon type. So we get the Starmie. Hopefully we can outspeed it now. Get that Ice Beam. Oh, takes out a fair amount of damage, which is unbelievably handy. Starmie takes a bit of damage back, but does outspeed the Necrozma for that Ice Beam, takes it out. If we hadn't taken it out now, it would have probably been the end of the team later on. Drifblim comes back in, still has the burn, utilises a berry to recover some of that health, but should be alright. Gets a Hydro Pump, just a heavy beater just to take it out, and just to really utilise Starmie with what little health it's got left, as the Life Orb will just slowly take it out. So with the Drapion, hopefully we should be able to outspeed it again. But instead, if we trade in the Venusaur, give it some screen time, if not seen the big guy yet, Mega Evolve it straight away, get that thick fact out, and then get the Leech Seed. That way, unfortunately misses. Try it again. If we can get the Leech Seed off, hopefully it will, even if Drapion becomes a bit of a nightmare to fight against, at least there'll be a little bit of health taken off it each turn. Now if we get the Giga Drain off just to hit it with a heavier grass type, keeps us at full health as well. Unfortunately the attractions got out, and then the roar has forced us to swap in Bisharp, who does not get poisoned. Sucker Punch unfortunately doesn't do too much damage, but the Leech Seed still just slowly taking it down piece by piece. Whirlwind forces us round again, but we do get the intimidating Landorus, and now we can outspeed it. So with that heavy hitter of Earthquake, we can take it out, and that leaves Sergeant West with 2. Now he's got his Mail Gallade out. Hopefully should be able to outspeed it, get that Earthquake off. Oh, and just hands on. Psycho Cut doesn't do too much damage, thankfully. Again, if we just hit it with another Earthquake, that's him gone, which leaves him down to 1. Now Crustle, that's his name now. How did I forget that? So just hit that with the Earthquake, just keep battering it. We can definitely outspeed it. Just keep hitting it, and then it's just a case of time, and he's out, and we win. So there we have it, guys. One way to utilise Venusaur. Remember to like, rate, and subscribe, and even leave a comment. How would you utilise this Pokemon the best? I love to hear, and hopefully try and give it a bash myself. So until the next time, have a good one.